Hey guys, it's Marky Shadow, and I am here doing an Infinite Warfare rant. I'm with the boss man and keep chasing me. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Robert, what's our first point?
Alright, our first point to roast this Infinite Warfare upcoming game. And by the way guys, we're playing bots just so we don't get too ragey. We are going to be talking about the fact that it's too futuristic, and also that there's no co-op campaign. So Mark, do you have any, just some information maybe about
Just
this?
like off the game, like okay.
Yeah.
So I'll give you the basics of what this game is. I got this. I'll put the website down where I got this information in the description box below. Call of Duty Warfare is an upcoming first-person shooter video game developed by Infinity Ward and published by Activision. This is the 13th installment of the Call of Duty series and is set to be released in November of this year. It's been in development since 2015. It's coming with the remastered version of Modern Warfare 4. It's a first-person shooter set in outer space with zero-gravity environments, aerial combat, no co-op, weird alien zombie mode, and yeah, just kind of ridiculous stuff.
Alright, well, as you guys can see, we are not the biggest fans of outright futuristic stuff. Now, personally, I was a fan of Black Ops 2, and Ghost wasn't a bad idea, but no one liked the game for reasons that don't go too far into futuristic idea. But Infinite Warfare is set in, like, so far in the future, like, I don't think they've even released how far in the future it is. It's insane, okay? And Black Ops 3 wasn't too bad of a game. I liked it. We're playing it right now. It's not too bad. But if you're going so far into the future after our next point, 5 games in a row of doing it, it gets repetitive and people are starting to get pissed off.
Yeah, I personally don't see making 5 games in a row all at the futuristic setting is just plain stupid. You had Ghosts, Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 2, which granted wasn't very much in the future, just had enough things to shake it up a little bit, which I actually liked. I think that was my favorite Call of Duty thus far. And then you have Black Ops 3, and then followed by Infinite Warfare, and making 5 futuristic games all in a row like that is ridiculous. You should never plan 5 years in a row. It would, you could guess even as a developer that it would get old after that amount of time.
Yeah, definitely. And guys, people, like, the responses so far are not very good just from the whole, audience of COD. Seriously, people are not looking forward to this game for rightful reasons. And what do you guys think? What do you guys not like about the futuristic idea?
Ambush hunter down.
Oh, I thought you were talking to the viewers. Well, I don't know. As far as futuristic goes, I think they've just done enough of it. Like, Black Ops 3, I think, is probably one of my favorite Call of Duties as well, because the movement system, I know a lot of people hate on the movement system, but if we're looking at it from a good perspective, the movement system gave it a lot of different options. Like, you could slide, jump, like, even you can slide backwards. If you look right here, like, if you jump up and then slide backwards, I mean, that's a thing you can do too. Like, so many different movements in this. It actually is really fun to me personally. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like that. I guess it kind of depends on what you get used to more, but I don't know.
Yeah, Mark, what do you think about futuristic ideas and whatnot?
I think they're good if you don't keep it repetitive. Like, I think 1 or 2 games in a series that are kind of futuristic, kind of like, you get, like, your sci-fi audience, like, a little interested, but after you do it 5 times, it's just kind of, eh.
Yeah,
right,
it
exactly.
doesn't, as a developer, it doesn't make sense, because that's not, like, you can't even look at it alone as 5 games. You have to look at that as, that's 5 years. Like, that, since I was...
No, more than that.
Probably, yeah. So
yeah.
Since I was 10 years old, or 11, I guess would be 5. Like, I've been playing futuristic games for 5 years now. That's 5 years of my life. That's a third of my lifetime, basically.
And guys, we just want them to shake it up a bit, like, add some take it back a notch, you know?
Yeah.
Take it back
I
to
think it's
World War
kinda-
II, maybe Vietnam, you know?
Yeah,
Something
Because
like
that's
that.
what I'm saying.
when
here's-
I
No,
I just want to say, when I saw the Infinite Warfare trailer, I was like, you know, this game has potential to be okay. And then I saw them go into space, and I was officially just done. Because when you start doing stuff like that, like, that's Star Wars crap right there. Like, that's not okay.
Yeah.
Care package inbound.
And hold on, before you go into your point, Mark,
Ruined down.
we are mostly hating on this game so far for its marketing. You'll get more into its gameplay
Overwatch
later,
killed.
and I think that's what you were going to get into, Mark, but we'll hold that off for a bit. But right
down.
now, we're going to get into probably one of their cheeky marketing ideas
Nomad kill.
to actually give this game a good rep. And this is one of their crucial mistakes, in my opinion. COD 4 bundle. Now,
Yeah.
Mark, can you explain it a little?
Ooh. Yeah. I'm gonna explain that on top of something else just real quick. It's kind of sad when you waste 10 years of your company doing this because each one of those games took 2 years to make. That's pretty sad to me. That you would spend that much time on something you know that your community hates. And it's
Pretty much.
getting a
Well,
little ridiculous.
You do have to realize that at the time, the futuristic setting, like with Black Ops 2 and I believe the next one was Advanced Warfare. I could be wrong, but at the time, people actually enjoyed it. But after another 3 years of that, you have to realize that it gets old.
Right. Yep. We've been looking for Wally, you know, or Waldo for a long time now, guys, and we found him a long time ago. So we got to move on now.
Yeah. So
yeah.
back to the marketing stuff.
Friendly health
I'm just gonna say, it is a bad move on your company to sell a video game in a bundle with one game that you know everybody hates and the other game that everybody wants. That is
Yeah.
a bad market move. That is a really, really bad market move because that's gonna get you some serious hate, especially since you
Yeah.
can't buy remastered separately.
care package inbound.
At least not as
And
of right now. I can nearly guarantee you that if you're going to buy Advanced Warfare just for COD 4, don't do that, because I can nearly for a fact like guarantee you that they're going to sell it separately eventually. It's just a matter of time, because if they don't, I don't think they're going to make enough profit off of Advanced Warfare alone
Right.
to keep their
Infinite.
company.
Infinite.
Infinite.
I don't even care. Okay.
I know.
Yeah, I
Same,
know you
man.
don't.
Same.
I know
But-
you don't, but you know.
But if they don't sell it separately eventually, they're not going to have, well, I mean, I don't want to say they're not going to have the money to keep their company going, because they're a multi-million, billion-dollar company by now.
Billion, probably. Yeah.
Probably
Yeah,
billion,
but you're
at
gonna
least
lose
million.
prospective buyers.
Yeah,
You're gonna lose buyers.
that's for sure. But
So
you
guys,
know,
we're just basically saying they're using cheeky marketing tools to sell this game, and I mean, I don't respect it, but I do see where they're coming from, and I just don't like it. But yeah.
something I do want to mention is as a company as a whole, Activision is, well, not even Activision in, like, themselves, but a lot of companies are good at doing this, and that is making their gameplay trailers and stuff not only graphics-wise look much better, but also gameplay-wise. Because like when you look at a Call of Duty trailer, it's basically a classic Hollywood movie with like hella explosions, bullets going everywhere, like
Michael Bay, right?
yeah, Michael
All
Bay
over the place.
movie basically, and just stuff that realistically you won't find in general, like a general game. Like it's all set, machine-made stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so yeah, guys, on to our next point. I think we've ran it a little much about the marketing aspect, but it's good because that is one of our main points. But for the next one is skill gap, okay? And Chase has some fire on this. Let's see.
Yeah, okay, so skill gap is something that I think is important in games. If you don't have a right amount of skill gap, then it's not a very good game. That's just been proven with multiple games. And it's always been an issue, in my opinion, with Call of Duty, because I mean, especially with hardcore, but even in core, the skill gap is just too small. Like, they compress it to the point where they guarantee people free kills while also guaranteeing them deaths, because at this point it doesn't take skill to get a kill. It basically just depends on who can fly around the map like fastest and get eyes on who first, and it basically comes down to whoever gets the first shot wins the gunfight.
Black Ops at work. It's a beautiful thing.
Right. Yeah. I know.
And-
so we'll just continue here, guys, and that's fine.
Yeah, especially when you look at a game like Battlefield. Like Battlefield 1's coming out. Something huge that Battlefield does differently is their skill gap. They have, it's roughly, I want to say 5 to 6 shots to kill a person, whereas in Call of Duty, with a submachine gun across the map, it's about 5 to 6 shots to kill. And when you're looking at TTK wise, that's a huge difference.
Definitely, and that provides that makes a game attract different audiences. You know, a bunch of people love the small skill gap. You know, because they just want to sit back, relax, and play a easy kill game. But then again, for them skill players, you know, higher skill players that want a challenge. Or they want to be legit in a better crowd, they go to Battlefield because of the reasons Chase just explained, and that's a really fine line between Battlefield and COD.
And another thing, if you're comparing Battlefield and COD, COD 3 was the last game to actually incorporate vehicles. And that's another huge thing that not only increases playtime, but also makes the game a lot different, because there's so many more options you can do. Like the jet, you can fly a jet around, helicopters, tanks, BTRs, ATVs that'll get blown up with a single mine. You have to take down tanks and stuff as work as a team. Same with helicopters, you get to use your stingers and stuff. And then when you look at COD, you basically just look at a game that not only has worse graphics because it's been going off of the same engine since the 1900s, but also a game that has a lot less options as far as gameplay wise.
Yeah, and guys, just think about it. Just think about it. This next game, right? This next Infinite Warfare game, if you really think about it, they could make so many vehicles, so many awesome vehicles that would make the game so much better, that would make the value of the game so much better and higher, but of course they're not going to do it because they just want to compress that skill gap even more by making a more crazy movement system, like the movement system, what is it, like basically Just Cause style, Mark?
Oh god,
How does that work?
You literally, so there actually are vehicles in this one, but here's the thing: you're in the vehicle, but you can only press the trigger. So when you're flying the spaceship, when you're flying a spaceship, you can press a trigger like on a mothership, and that's it. There's nothing else.
Oh,
you
that's
can
probably
do.
a score streak, right?
Yeah, you're basically comparing. That's like comparing a sundae to vanilla ice cream. Because like the sundae you have the cherry, the chocolate, the fudge. Well, I guess that's kind of the same thing. And then you got the cone and the vanilla like ice cream itself, and you know, I mean, just sprinkles, all that crap. Yeah. But that's like comparing it to just vanilla ice cream like in a bowl. Like you don't even get to eat the bowl. It's just vanilla ice cream.
Here's the thing, Chase, what I'm more personally thinking, it's like comparing a sundae to a bowl of sugar, not vanilla ice cream.
Basically, yeah.
It's pretty bad. Yeah.
But
so
it still attracts certain audiences, which I see.
I'm not saying that it's bad that it attracts certain audiences.
Yeah, because I will say a lot of people do like the simplicity of Call of Duty, which is understandable, but regardless, they need to upgrade their engine. They've been running off of the same one since 1995, 1996, something like that.
Crazy.
Basically since their company started.
Yeah, since the first Call of Duty came out, they've been running off of the same engine, which was in, I don't know, it's at least the 1900s
I can
something.
look that up for you real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
But their engine was developed in 1990 something, and they're still using the same one.
Right.
Let's see. So they started development in 2000.
Right.
And it's the
Yeah.
same engine
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
time.
Okay. All right, guys, and now we're
Kinda
gonna
sad.
basically talk about a half pay-to-win type of deal where it's not paid to actually, you know, win the game, complete the game, but it's more supply drop. It's more getting microtransactions, pretty much. And these companies, oh my God, COD companies benefits from these so much, from poor families who. I'm not gonna say anyone's poor or anything, but we probably all don't have too much money to spend, and it just lures people into buying these stupid, basically gambling, little boxes for a chance to
Yeah.
win what? A stupid, copy
gun.
of a basically a stupid copy of a knife, of a normal knife,
Yeah.
and
it's,
yeah.
And that's another point that I actually do want to bring up is in Call of Duty, I mean, basically you have your submachine gun and your assault rifle, your sniper rifle, with the exception of bolt action and semi-automatic sniper rifles. Basically all of the different categories, each of the guns in those categories are basically reskins of the same gun. Because no matter what gun you're using, it'll make very, very little difference as to how you play. Because you won't play it any differently than you did. So you can like go from a Weevil to a VMP. You won't play the VMP any different than you did the Weevil, or the Weevil any different than you did the VMP. It's not going to make a difference.
Enemy down.
Be advised, hostile counter
Yeah,
UAV
and-
is online.
Right. Makes sense. So, okay.
Clean kill.
Now that we got that little rant out of the way for the pay to win type of deal, now we're gonna get into probably a FPS's biggest asset or killer, pretty much liability. We got movement and
Oh.
guns.
Oh boy.
So, Mark's got some straight fire.
Oh boy.
Shut out.
Go
Okay.
ahead, Mark.
So in Infinite Warfare, they posted something recently saying like what type of guns they were about to have, like different things, like between ballistic and like energy. So like kind of like a normal gun versus your stormtrooper firearm.
Right.
Here's what pisses me off the most. A normal gun doesn't work in space. Because there's no gravity. It doesn't make any sense.
Well,
like, how would it work?
I mean, that's not only the reason, but you need the air to ignite the fire and
Yeah.
Anyway,
it
guys,
doesn't make
normal
any
guns
sense.
do not work in space.
They don't.
Keep going.
And for movement, I don't really want to be playing a COD that reminds me of Just Cause
Kill.
for the movement.
Yeah. Two
Like,
different
you know what
games.
I
If
mean?
I'm going to want
Two very different games.
Yeah, if I'm gonna like wanna fly around, basically, I'm gonna go to Just Cause. If I'm gonna wanna, you know, wreck some
Reaper
noobs
kill.
in a FPS, I'm gonna go to COD. It's different.
Yeah, I know. It's a big difference.
Yeah.
You're
Also,
gone.
Friendly UAV
it annoys
inbound.
the crap out of me that they would do this. They have guns. They have announced and they've shown. I don't know if they've shown them off yet or not, but they've definitely, and other YouTubers have talked about this, where they have transforming guns. One of which that pisses me off the most is a energy shotgun that turns into an LMG.
Nomad wasted.
Like,
yeah,
If that
guys,
doesn't
let
have
that
noob
settle
written
in.
all over it, then I don't know what does.
yeah, that's alone is enough on the point. But if you're not understanding, basically what it is if you know the Ripper from I think it was Call of Duty Ghosts. I could be wrong. No one played that game anyway, but you know, it's basically like that, where it turns from an AR directly into an SMG just on the fly like that.
But this is even worse, guys. It's a shotgun to an LMG.
That turns
Literally,
to an
literally,
LMG.
literally opposite play styles. Literally.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
don't even have to change classes. Like,
Nope, just hit a button.
yeah.
Just hit a button, and you're all good.
Okay. I think that speaks enough for itself. So let's move
Spectre
on.
down.
So we're just gonna go into the negative hate already. Now,
Oh boy.
this doesn't just spam from the dislikes on the reveal trailer. No, this spans from like people we've talked to and everyone I've talked to. I have not seen one or talked to one person that is actually really looking forward to this game at all. I don't know about you guys, but
Friendly UAV in
you know.
Uh-uh.
And
Not at
that's for the
all.
reasons we've explained, and also because these COD companies aren't listening to their audience at the moment, you know? If this game was in work from 2014, that means that at least 2 to 3 of these futuristic games were already out or coming out in the time that this game was like being developed. So if that doesn't make sense, then basically they started making a game that was futuristic when they already had 3 games that were futuristic coming out. Or out already. So that just pisses me off because you just don't do the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, no,
It's like-
And yeah, almost 3 million dislikes on the real field trailer. Yeah.
And
oh,
that
yeah.
is something. Go ahead, Mark.
Confirmed yesterday, second most
Kill.
disliked video ever made.
Second?
On YouTube. Yeah.
Second place.
Yeah, the first is
And
Justin
what is
Bieber.
first? What is first? Yeah. Yeah.
Justin Bieber, JBO.
Nomad
But
kill.
yeah, we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah.
But I do want to mention something on this point, and I think it's important to realize. Just because this game does have a bunch of dislikes doesn't mean necessarily that it will be a bad game or a good game. Because, I mean, it's something like, even if you know nothing about the game, and you see people, like, I know FaZe has talked about this a lot, they're like, oh, we hate this game, we're not looking forward to it at all. And if you see someone like that you look up to or whatever, and they hate it, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go dislike the video. And that's not because you know anything about it, or you think it's going to be a bad game. That's just because someone that you know, you think they know a lot about it, dislikes it, so you're going to. Same thing goes for Battlefield 1. The likes on that, like, not to say it's gonna be a bad or a good game, but the likes and dislikes on YouTube videos don't necessarily mean anything.
Yeah,
Right.
and I think the number one reason that they have disliked it is because of their marketing plan for selling remastered with it that you can't.
That
go
is
get
probably
it
a
any other
big
way.
That's
thing,
another
yeah.
huge point to that, yeah.
Threat
Yeah.
neutralized.
And but with that said, guys, we think the game's not going to be
Kill.
that great for our reasons that we've already stated. But still, that doesn't mean that the dislikes really means anything. Like, it was almost a trend to go dislike that video. So it could just be
Pretty
people
much.
that don't
Yeah.
even play video games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they might not know anything about it, and they still hit it because they know someone who else. who did.
But still, do
Exactly.
I think that video deserves the dislikes? Honestly, I
Yeah.
do. I do.
I do too.
And but we know more about it than most people. So that's all we're gonna say. We're gonna end it off here. Mark, do your outro, and we'll end it.
Yep. Well, this has been Marking Shadow. Keep chasing me into Boss Man. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.